Somebody fly me in there. Somebody fly me in there because somebody needs to set Sally straight. Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. Hello if you're new. So today's podcast is going to be a review of Love Island USA Season 2, Episode 25. I hope everybody is doing as well as can be, and I really do hope everybody is being as proactive as possible in supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. And if you're still on the lookout for some resources, I've linked some in the description. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts on my commentary. I'm always up for a chat, I'm always up for a debate, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. No hard feelings. So, episode 25, I just want to say it's really cheeky how they just cut that recoupling short at the end of the episode. I just think that it was just absolutely rude. But yeah, let's just get into it. So, in this episode, I was kind of anticipating a breakup. That's the only thing I was here for in this episode. Sally kicking Johnny to the curb. Unfortunately, we don't see that this episode, and we're kind of being just teased a bit on whether she's actually going to potentially do that in the next episode. So the episode starts off with a talk between Sally and Johnny. And I really respect Sally for calling out Johnny. Like, she was not letting any shit run. She wasn't letting him do his little manipulative games that he likes to do. So she's calling him out. She's calling him out on the manipulation. Johnny, typically, he's being called out on manipulation. And what does he do? Try and manipulate again. He's trying to interrupt now. He's gaslighting her again. He's basically doing this thing where he's trying to make her seem the one that's being unreasonable by saying, what more do you want from me? I've told you the truth. What more do you want me to do? What more do you want me to do? You know, that old chestnut that he keeps doing. And he needs to switch it up with this manipulation because that one is getting bored and Sally has already peeped the game. So you're going to have to come with something new if you want to do that. The spell has worn off already. On top of that, he's still sticking with this kissing story. All we did is kiss. And Sally obviously knows that isn't true, or I'm not even sure anymore because the way she's kind of moving in this episode, I don't know if she even trusts Noah's information as the absolute truth. But what really annoyed me is that she didn't kind of call him out on it and say, well, the information that I've been told from, you know, a credible source or whatever, or even just said, Noah told me he saw this, and this under the cover. So are you telling me all you did was kiss? I was hoping she was going to call him out on that. She didn't, and I was a little bit disappointed with that, to be honest. But anyway, Johnny is just basically continuing his lies, and he's just saying, I'm telling you the truth. I've told you the absolute truth. And what's really funny is he was looking Sally in the eye, but then his eyes kept darting when he was saying that he was telling the truth. And I was like, you clearly look like a liar, babe. I just mean the audacity to think that you are such a good liar. You can't even lie good properly. So then he gets up and walks off, and he's just being very dismissive about this whole argument. And then as he's being dismissive and walking off, he's like, you can talk to me whenever when you need me. Talk to me when you need me. Talk to me when you're ready. That bullshit. And it's just like, she's trying to talk to you now, babe, but you're running away because you're feeling the heat, you're feeling the pressure, you're feeling all of your lies come back to bite you, and you don't want that pressure. So now you're walking away. So it's just very cheeky. And again, it's another thing manipulators do to try and make it seem like you're being the unreasonable one. But at that time, I'm thinking, okay, Johnny knows the jig is up. Sally has peeped the game. And she was kind of talking about how she's not really sure if she can be with him anymore. So I was just kind of thinking, I think they're done. I was like, I think our work has been done here. For now, temporarily, or so I thought. So then Johnny immediately goes to the boys to bitch about what happened. And it's just very telling because he's doing that thing where he's kind of smirking, kind of smiling, and he's just basically saying, you know, I've told her the truth and it isn't good enough for her. And just kind of smirking, like, he doesn't seem like somebody who has generally been remorseful, generally taken responsibility and feels like he's not being heard or he's not being appreciated for taking accountability. He's just, I don't know, there was just something about it that was just, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And then obviously Carrington is like, you've told her the truth. I don't know what more she can want from you. Something along those lines. And what is quite interesting is that when they were kind of talking about the truth and how much Johnny has told the truth, Bennett actually walked out of the room. And that was quite interesting. I think maybe he was just like, he is fully lying out here, but he doesn't want to get in an argument because they all have his back. So he didn't really want to get involved. So he just thought, let me walk out the room because I know I can't fix my face, But that was quite interesting. Did anyone peep that? Honestly, I wish Benny was in the room because I feel like maybe Benny might have checked in, but it kind of feels like Benny doesn't really want to get involved in the drama. But anyway, Johnny is just out here looking guilty as fuck, basically. And then we also kind of see a little snippet where Benny is out here giving Sally some subtle reassurance. He's not really putting the pressure on. He's giving her a little bit of space, but he's kind of letting her know, baby girl, I'm here for you. So that was very subtle, very smooth. I peeped it, and I respect it. I think, obviously, if he was to now just come on and be like, oh my God, like you deserve so much better. I can be that guy for you. I think maybe that would have put her off. So I think this was a smart approach in my opinion. But what do you guys think? Do you think maybe Benny should have been a bit more aggressive this episode, or what he did was the smarter choice? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Then the next day, after not giving her space, after he said that he was going to give her space, he's coming back like, oh, when you're ready to talk to me, let me know I'm here. And it's just comical at this point because, like I said, you were having a conversation. She wanted to speak to you. You couldn't handle it, so you walked away. So it's like, Sally is here to talk. It's you that's scared of talking, babe. It's just very weird, very wild behavior. Then we see a little bit of a girl talk between the girls. They have like a little girl talk date that is set up for them. And then we kind of see a disappointing development. And the disappointing development is that basically it seems like Sally was having this energy of she was going to take him back, or she could potentially take him back, but he's going to have to quote unquote work for it. And prove to her that he deserves her back. And I mean, Justine was kind of there like, yeah, you can't let him get away with things. And I was just like, no. Tell him. Everybody needs to tell her that Johnny is trash and she needs to get rid. And I was just like, somebody fly me in there. Because somebody needs to set Sally straight. Because, I mean, it's very clear that this guy lied to you. It's very clear that he then went further and tried to manipulate you. You peeped that, but you still want to give him another chance. Why? You know what? I've seen it in real life. People just take back anything, But it's just upsetting me. It's really upsetting me. It's really frustrating me. It's really getting me heated out here. And I really just don't want to accept this type of behavior. Not from my girl, Sally. No. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys. I mean, I feel like the general feeling right now is that Johnny is trash and Sally should leave him. But I'd be interested to hear from maybe more of the understanding people, the people with forgiveness in their heart. Can you understand why Sally is kind of opening the door, is kind of feeling like she could potentially take back the trash? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. So then obviously we see Sally and the trash have a talk, and obviously she's basically saying there could be a black bin bag available for him next to her in the bed. She basically left the door wide open for him to come back. Yes, she checked him. She said, certain things that you're doing, certain defensive things that you're doing, it's not going to run anymore, and you're definitely going to have to prove yourself to me. But babe, have a class, because this right here is not it. It's not it, Shadi. I want more for you, babe. Anyway, so then further on in the episode, we do see Benny and Sally having a conversation. And again, it's just a bit of a tease, isn't it? It's a bit of a tease. it's just a bit like, bitch, just make the right decision. But she's basically saying how she, wants to give him this chance because he's such a good guy, but then she still has feelings for Johnny, and she's just a bit confused right now. So it's all a bit up in the air. But I don't know. I just have this feeling that she's going to take back the trash. She's just going to spray some Febreze on the trash bag and try and ignore the smell. That's what I'm kind of thinking she's going to be doing. Then we see Connor and Moira have a talk, and Connor basically friend zones her and basically confirms that he did want Mackenzie back. And I think what he was trying to do with this whole last recoupling was try and teach her a little lesson, make her feel the burn a little bit, but then eventually take her back. But obviously he didn't anticipate her leaving as soon as she did. But I think Connor was definitely planning to take Mackenzie back. He's been honest with that about Maura. He's been honest about that with Maura. I personally just think he should have kept that to himself, for his own game plan. But Connor, he really does put his heart on his sleeve. And I'm surprised he's been able to do that and get so far. But yeah, he doesn't have a calculating bone in his body. I guess maybe that was a little bit calculating, but I mean, and a bit petty. But in terms of like being a game player, he isn't really a big game player in my opinion. So Maura seems very upset, but I just kind of feel like it's funny that she's upset because she clearly does not have any interest in Connor either. But at that time, I kind of thought Connor should have just kept his mouth shut because I didn't think it was smart in terms of his game plan because it could leave him vulnerable. So Maura now starts talking to Bennett. I don't see any spark there either, to be honest. But I guess she's just kind of exploring her options. But she's basically just divulging all of this information onto him, just spilling her guts, basically. And I just don't get this. Why you would want to just dump all of this emotional baggage onto somebody that you want to create something with, especially if that emotional baggage is your relationship past. I just think the thought process is just a bit, I just don't get it, to be honest. I think that would be a turn off for me, but obviously this is the game, this is the competition, so obviously people can let shit slide if it means advancing their game. But in real life, I just think that is just a turn off. What is quite interesting is that Bennett actually says that he's not 100% on Kirsten. Kirsten is his number one, but he kind of has this feeling that she still has feelings for Carrington, which was quite interesting to me, because I've always just had this kind of niggling feeling that Carrington and Kirsten were going to have some type of reconciliation. But personally, I feel like Bennett should just stick with Kirsten if he can secure that. He should stick with Kirsten if he wants to be in the game for as long as he can. I feel like he's looking at Maura as a backup because he just kind of assumes that she is well liked by the public because she's managed to stay in so long. But personally, I kind of just feel like the reason why she stayed here so long is literally luck, because of who she happened to be coupled up with, because of the drama she was involved in that particular day. But I don't necessarily think that she's a strong asset to be looking at as, I want this person to advance my game personally. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Is there any Moira stands out there? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Please make yourselves known. So then, another interesting development is Laurel. Laurel, she's a little bit cheeky. I didn't think she had it in her. But Laurel is now basically talking about how she wants to see what Calvin is saying now. And I personally think this is definitely a game plan type of thing. She's definitely doing this as a game plan. I think she is now, obviously, her and Carrington almost got dumped. So she knows that they are not a popular couple, and she's probably now pinning that down to Carrington. I mean, the way that, and she's probably now is thinking about it, and she's pinned their lack of popularity down to Carrington. She's seen the tweet now in the challenge. People are talking about her, and they're talking about her with Calvin. So maybe people are shipping them together. So now she's kind of thinking, if I stick with Carrington, I'm not going to be here very much longer. So therefore, I need to jump ship. And it's looking like Calvin could potentially be a hot commodity. He's been safe the whole time he's been here. You could deduce from that he is perhaps a strong candidate. So therefore, if I was to couple up with him, I would now be in a strong couple, or at the very least a stronger couple than where I'm at now. So Laurel is very calculated. There was me thinking she was this little sweet Southern belle, but she is very calculated. But at the same time, I mean, Carrington looks bored as fuck when she's talking, and she's probably peeped that as well. So it probably isn't that much of a difficult decision to leave Carrington, to be honest. I mean, Carrington is Carrington. So, but interestingly enough, it seems that Calvin and Laurel are on the same page, because Calvin even goes up to Laurel before Laurel even has a chance to speak to him. And obviously they're just talking, trying to not look like massive gameplay as well. Whilst they're having a conversation. And obviously Calvin is also looking for an opportunity to stay in the house, because obviously Kirsten has basically friend-zoned him. It doesn't look like she's interested in him anymore. He's got to think about his longevity as well. Laurel could be an option. Calvin is probably thinking at the back of her head, if I go and approach her, she's probably going to be thinking, yeah, I'm going to ride on this coattail, because if I don't, I'm going to be going home with Carrington, who is not going to be coming to visit me in Alabama, shawty. So, so I think they see each other, So, but Laurel is still very much really boring, to be honest. But I love the cheekiness this episode. So Carrington has peeped the game, because Carrington isn't stupid out here, and he's basically asking Laurel, like, so are you interested in Calvin now? And she's just being mad defensive. Like, she's just taken aback because she thought she was so clean and sneaky, yeah? And she's like, no, I'm just like want to get to know him, but I'm not trying to pursue him. But Carrington is just basically like, bitch, I know what you're doing. Like, I've been new. So don't even try and lie. So I don't know, but Laurel is just taking it back. She's like being really upset about it. She's just basically trying to victimize herself and play victim. And it's like, sis, don't even try it. Don't try them little tears, shawty. You're trying to leave Carrington, so stand in that. Don't try and play victim. Like, don't try and play victim here, sis. You know what you're doing. And not only that, you look mad guilty now. Obviously now, Carrington knows that Laurel is planning to ditch him. Obviously, now Carrington knows that Laurel is planning to ditch him. I was kind of thinking maybe we could possibly see this reconciliation with him and Kirsten, because obviously Bennett has let slip that Kirsten is basically still has feelings for Carrington. So I was kind of thinking, is this now going to lead to a reconciliation because they now basically don't really have an option? It kind of just feels like they are going to get back together eventually. So then we get the recoupling text, and obviously it's kind of clear that it's going to be a recoupling / dumping. And immediately all of the boys who aren't in secure relationships are getting tense, are getting nervous. And we see a lot of game playing going on. First, we've got Calvin. Calvin immediately goes to Laurel and tries to re-cement this relationship that they've got going, because obviously it's girls' pick. And obviously Laurel was kind of just complaining about Carrington, saying that he came at her, that bullshit, like, girl, stop trying to play victim. And then after that, Calvin then does a tour to Moira and starts putting it on Moira. And I was like, Calvin is very Despacito out here, but you know what? I have to respect the hustle. I have to respect it. He was really doing the rounds, shawty. He's not trying to leave. So then we see Carrington basically make a low-key plea to Laurel to not ditch him, and basically says, we just had a bad day, let's not lose what we've had. But you could tell he kind of just wants to beg her, but Carrington has too much pride and doesn't really want to beg. So yeah, but you could tell he's kind of just like, please pick me. Then we see Connor, which I was surprised about. Connor basically asked Moira to be in a friendship couple, who's just like, basically the way that it's looking at, there's going to be at least one friendship couple at the end of this recoupling. Why not it be us? And I respect it. I respect Connor. Obviously he's here, he's trying to extend his holiday. You know, I'm guessing he's still working from home. He's bored at home. He wants to continue his holiday. So yeah, I respect it. I respect it, Connor. I didn't think Connor had it in him. But here we are. And to be honest, I think that was a very fair proposal. I mean, Maura, it doesn't seem like she likes anyone. I do feel like she just needs to have a single girl moment. But yeah, I just feel like this would be a good deal for her, because I kind of feel like she is very emotional, but I do think she kind of does want to enjoy her holiday as well. No, notably, Noah is just nowhere to be seen. I didn't really see him speak to anyone. It's kind of like he just told the tea and disappeared. So, and then obviously we see Sally, and she's just basically like, oh, I'm confused. I don't know who to pick. It's just Sally. I just hope she makes the right decision and ditches him. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting a little bit heated. I'm getting a little bit annoyed. I mean, it's her choice to make, but I'm gonna be disappointed if she keeps that fucking trash bag, Johnny. Then we get the beginning of the recoupling, because they're fucking cheeky and cut it short. So first we see Justine, and obviously we know she's coupling up with Caleb. And then we see Moira, and then she starts crying. And I was like, why is she crying? Who's she going to pick? And I was kind of thinking, well, is she going to send Connor home or not pick Connor? And then obviously it cuts to the infomercial. And then obviously it cuts, and we're going to find out the rest tonight, which is, it was just cheeky. Like, I was literally like, what? When the tomorrow night came up, I was like, fucking hell. Really? I just feel a bit taken advantage of, to be honest. I feel taken advantage of with this edit. But we do have 2 new girls coming in tomorrow, 2 new white girls. And they look good, to be honest. But I don't know who they would sway, because they said vulnerable, but we never really know what vulnerable means. Obviously, the first recoupling with Trey, he was like, they're going to be vulnerable, but then he was there. So it's just like, what? Who knows? I really hope there is a dumping, but I kind of feel like maybe there won't be. And then the 2 new girls will come in. If Johnny stays in the house, he would start entertaining one of them. Possibly. But then maybe if Sally couples up with Benny and one of them entertains Benny might entertain that, and then maybe she'd go back to Johnny. I don't know, because these 2 new girls are very pretty. So I definitely think some heads are going to turn. Maybe Carrington. I'm thinking Calvin. Obviously Calvin probably. But yeah, I think Connor is definitely off the market. But I don't know who else. The only person I would say would be secure is obviously Caleb, and is Caleb. Okay, is Caleb. I don't think any of these new girls would tempt Caleb. So yeah, I think maybe there is going to be a little bit of shaking up by these 2 new girls, to be honest. I think they've got the looks to do it. I guess we just have to see the personality. But yes, do let me know what you thought of my commentary. Do let me know what you thought about this whole Johnny and Sally diabolical. What if she takes back Johnny, yeah? What are we going to do, girls? Because we need to kick him out. Because I feel like if she takes him back, we're going to have to kick them out. I feel like I want better for Sally, but if she has to be collateral, then so be it. You know what I mean? But yeah, are we still going to support Sally as a couple with Johnny if she takes back Johnny? I've got to hear from you guys, because I can't. I mean, I can't vote anyway, but in spirit, I can't. I cannot. But I got to hear from you guys. And let me know what you guys think about these new girls, and what do you think they're going to shake anything up, and who do you think could be shaken up? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. And do you actually think anyone's going to actually leave tonight? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to put that notification bell on so you know when the next podcast is dropping. I'm also trying to get to 1.8 subscribers, so I'd appreciate if you'd help me out with that goal. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. Till next time, guys. Bye.